Hey smokers, welcome to the trailer channel. Today we have the Colorado again, still in pieces, because in the last episode we got Windows 3.1 installed and we failed at installing Windows 2000. I tried Windows 2000 without any service packs, and I tried Windows 2000 with service packs. Actually, I tried them in the reverse order, but you get the idea. Windows 2000 would lock up at the exact same spot on both installs, completely different ISOs, I think even completely different product keys to prove my point. So that means I am out of ideas in terms of Windows 2000, but that doesn't mean we don't have to use Windows 2000. So I tried to use Windows ME, or in Windows 98, but it can't install alongside my already existing MS-DOS partition. And I don't want to use Windows XP because, well, that's boring. And besides, I think it would perform absolutely horribly on this computer. So, I'm going to try a version of Microsoft, a version of Windows by Microsoft that I have never tried before. That is Windows NT. I've heard of it, but I completely forgot it even existed. And until now, I've never had a reason to try, and I've never had hardware to try it on. But I think this machine might be the best candidate. Now, before we go straight to installing Windows NT, I need to reformat this hard drive, I think, using Windows XP, which basically I boot up using the Windows XP CD. I format the hard drive, and just before it starts copying files, I delete the, what's it called? No, I don't delete it. I shut it off. Like, just press the reset button or unplug it. Either way, achieves the same goal. So, let's turn it on. I like a very long BIOS, because that means I have plenty of time to not panic and take the disk out. We are going to be installing Windows NT 4.0 Service Pack 1, and it would help if the camera would focus, you piece of thank you. Go ahead and skip mem test. So we have 393 megabytes of RAM, and I am going to format this hard drive. And then we will see you back at the Windows NT installer. It's slightly different from 2000, and definitely different from ME. Windows NT is kind of that balance between Windows 95 and 2000, I think, which is exactly what we need in this scenario. Although I've never used it before, I don't know how the setup is going to be. I don't even know if it will set up. It may end up getting completely stuck at the exact same spot that Windows 2000 did. It's to the point we may need to end up trying Windows XP anyway. Okay, so I just formatted the hard drive. We are now going to wait for the memory test to finish. Don't need to. And let's see what the Windows NT installer looks like. Now, I will admit, I kind of cheated a little bit. No, not by using Windows XP as the formatter for this install, but more or less I went a little bit through the install, but I never actually installed it because I wanted to make sure that it would even install on a different partition compared to DOS, and better yet, the NTFS file system, which wouldn't really matter. It doesn't matter if it's NTFS or FAT. But one thing I don't know is if it's going to play nicely with DOS. And by that I mean if I'm going to even have the option to select Windows NT 4.0 or MS-DOS at the end of this all. I know 2000 does, but that doesn't necessarily mean this will. And even still, even if this doesn't, we can always try to upgrade to 2000 after this video. Not ME, but 2000. There we go, there's the disk for it. Just to see if maybe we can get past that stupid lockup error that this thing loves to give us. Okay. So, here we are. It's weird seeing Windows NT up there, let's just say. So, We don't want to press F1. And the other options don't seem good, so we are going to enter to continue. Enter to continue. And, yeah, enter to continue. And it's going to make you scroll all the way down through the license agreement. And F8, I agree. The list above matches my computer. Wonderful. And this is where things get different. We're going to press N. And here it shows we have two different file structures. We have FAT for MS-DOS and NTFS. So I want to choose one NTFS to continue and use the partition anyway. Press C. The setup will confirm this action again later before actually reformatting the partition. Really? You want to... Windows XP must use a different, a newer version of NTFS. So that means if this fails, this is going to take longer than it really should, because I'm formatting 90% of the hard drive. What may end up paying is going back into Windows XP, quick formatting the hard drive with FAT, and then we just continue to use the FAT file system, because there's really no reason to use NTFS on the system, because you're not going to want to fit a 8GB file on here, or I forget how big the limit is for NTFS, FAT file systems. So, I wonder if this could install on FAT32 instead. I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and reformat this. We'll get back to this screen and, well, we'll try it from there. Okay, so things didn't work out as planned. I can't run the rest of the hard drive just for Windows NT. I had to size it down to 3 gigabytes, which is okay. So now, okay, I'm so excited. Are we going to actually get to the desktop? And I saw something I really like, is that it had a boot menu, which means we should be able to go back to MS-DOS after this. Wow, this is beautiful. Okay, so I want custom. Name, okay. Colorado Trailer Media. Okay. And name to identify your computer. There we go. Password. I don't want one. Create an emergency repair disk. A floppy disk. Should we do it? Let's do it. Okay. So I will give up. Not one of my orange floppies. Let's see here. Where's my box of floppies at? I've lost my box of floppies. I don't want to use one of my new ones. Here's my box of floppies on the floor behind me. What color you think we should use? I'm thinking blue. Well, I have a bunch of yellows. Let's use a yellow one because it'll be easier to see a marker on it. So, let's create a emergency repair disk. And there we go. So now, I want to go through and select everything we can in terms of cool stuff. As you can see, we have mouse pointers. Obviously, we want those. Desktop wallpapers, a clock even. Awesome. Communications, 3 of 3. Games, absolutely. Want all of the games. Multimedia, absolutely. We want all of these. Utopia sound scheme. And Windows messaging. Don't need any of that. Okay. So, we should have everything I possibly want. NT networking. We'll participate on a network. It's wired. Okay. Okay, it will not connect to the network at this time because I don't have the cards installed. If you remember from last episode, I took the cards out to try to weed out a problem. Yeah, we're definitely in London. Okay. Oh. How about... There we go. Thinks it's 2018. Whatever. Close enough. Okay. VGA compatible display adapter. 16 colors, and probably can't use that, so I'm not going to. So we're going to need to install the drivers for the video, the audio, and the network. And isn't there all that you need to use on the computer? Is the internet, the sound, and the video. And I think there's one more that I'm forgetting here. Oh well. If I'm forgetting it, it must not be important. But yeah, I've never played with Windows NT before. Ever. Not on a virtual machine. Not ever. I don't even know what the desktop looks like. Although I think it's supposed to be similar to 95. Although I haven't seen that. And it's very similar to 95. I don't even know if it's going to have the gradients of Windows ME. Instead of being one solid color, it's going to be gradient. I don't even know if that's going to happen. Okay. Formatting disk. Wonderful! Setup was unable to format the disk. Cancel. Okay. So, doesn't matter. We don't need that. Restart computer. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and take the disk out because it's probably not going to need it. But that is stupid fast. Like, is it just me or is this computer being really fast? Or am I just used to stuff slower than this? Like, everything that it's doing is just... And as you can see, why does it say Windows 2000 Professional? I'm going to have to remove that option, I think. Because there is not Windows 2000 on this machine anymore. I need to figure out how to modify the boot menu so I can remove that. And then we see if we can go back to MS-DOS and then Windows 3.1. Wow. Really? I didn't type a password. That's interesting. Welcome to Windows NT. Wow, that is weird. I'm not used to seeing NT. What's new? Tell me what's new, Windows. Okay. We're not going through the tutorial. Anyway, so here we are. It installed. I am so happy. We have Windows NT by our DOS 5 installation. Wait a minute. That better not be. Okay, so we have DOS 5 and D. D is Windows NT. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is our two partitions. This is exactly what I was wanting. Because I wanted an overseer for MS-DOS 5.0, because I am horrible with the command line, and if I screw something in Windows ME, not Windows ME, Windows 3.1, or I want to put something on Windows 3.1, I can probably, after we install all the service packs and drivers, put this thumb drive in the computer, and because it's a 1 gig thumb drive, it should be able to read it, and put files onto MS-DOS 5.0 and then open them in Windows. This was my plan the whole time. Now, some could say, well, why didn't you use Linux? Because, as I said before, I suck at command lines. Isn't that the whole point of this, is trying to avoid a command line when I can just literally go through here, open up DOS, and look at stuff? Although this is horrible. Why did they design it like this? Okay, here we go. Now, this is more normal of a design. Anyway, so that's cool. Let's try to play Reversey. Let's see if I can find it. I want to play Reversey on Windows NT. And I don't see it. Okay, MS-DOS. See what it says. Windows 3.1. That was stupidly fast. Let's see if we have Reversey. Oh. Nope, we do not have Reversey. That's why we couldn't find Reversey, because it's not on here. I will customize this all later. I just wanted to see if I could get 2 operating systems dual booted on this computer, because you see what I was saying about earlier. Let's see here. We have paintbrush, card file, right? We have calculator. File manager. This is what we want, and I can even access the D drive, so I can look at stuff from. I can pull stuff from Windows NT if I wanted to over to Windows 3.1. So, this is awesome. I have a computer running Windows NT 4.0 and Windows 3.1 and MS-DOS 5.0. And on top of that, we have enough hard disk space. We can install something else. I could install Windows XP if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that because that's boring. First off, we are going to start off with the internet drivers. Just to see if this will either be off to a good start or a horrible start. And I have no idea what to choose first. Is there a README file? I have no idea what to click on. What is this? Is this an exe? No, that's a COM file. Okay. W server. I want to see, I guess, WinPrep. That looks like an executable. Hey smokers, Drago1 here. Wait a minute, wrong channel. Anyway, well, not wrong channel, but wrong person. I am not Drago1, but this is the trailer channel, and I have been having an absolute hell trying to get drivers to work on this computer, which is a Pentium 2. Now, I don't have a Quantum Bigfoot, but this is a MacStore 10 gig drive, 9 gig, I forget, I don't care. So, we've been trying to get Windows 3.1 to work. We got Windows 3.1 to work. We tried Windows 2000. It would not work. Which Windows 2000 was our best chance that we had, so I went with Windows NT 4.0, thinking that I could find the drivers for this computer. And I can't. I literally can't get anything to install for either of them, and I completely, immediately destroyed my Windows 3.1 install by installing video drivers. So I couldn't see anything. And I never tried sound or network drivers. So, we are going to try Windows ME. Now, why Windows ME? You're thinking, if you try NT 4.0, your best bet is 95, not ME. Well, I don't have any DOS programs to run, so that don't matter to me. And furthermore, this hardware seems to be very reliable. I've never had reliable enough hardware to run Windows ME. It was hard to tell whether it was Windows ME being a goof or the hardware itself. And word is, if you install Windows ME on hardware that is older than it is able to find the drivers, plug and play perfectly nice. Which is what we're doing here, and I formatted this hard drive, all of it with FAT, so Windows ME will have all of this hard drive to play with. And, well, here we go. I'm going to need a product key. I just remembered. Oh well, I can look that up. So yeah, we're installing Windows ME on the Colorado now. This is the level I've stooped to. Not proud of it. Not what I wanted, but I don't know what else to try. I want to get drivers working. The only other thing I can do is Windows 95. And of course we want custom, because I like to choose everything I possibly can. Briefcase, absolute desktop wallpaper, mouse pointers, screensavers, paint, absolutely. Wait a minute. Oh, how dare you not select all of it. Look at them buggers. We gotta make sure everything is selected. Okay. Address book. Sure. Communications. Absolutely, totally going to use dial-up server. Universal plug and play. Not exactly sure what that is. Virtual private networking. Should we try to get a VPN even running on this system? Desktop themes. Absolutely. Games. Absolutely. Multi-language support. Not important. I absolutely want all of these. System tools, absolutely want all of these. Web TV for Windows, not useful. Okay. So I think that's everything I can possibly install on the system. Lovely. Okay, so there's one thing I forgot to do that I'm debating whether I should do or not, which is put this card in there. It's basically almost identical to that card that's already in there. I'm hoping I can install this after it's already installed, so let's go ahead and just continue that. Let's go ahead and continue through the setup. Computer name. I feel like I've been here before. Setup will now create a startup disk. I don't want a startup disk. Ready to fit in. Finish copying files. Well, this has been easy. Let's see if it gets to the desktop and has drivers, not only gradients, but sound. I have a speaker plugged in back there, and internet, and then, of course, the other internet card. The cool thing about these is that they have... Oh, I just realized. Oh, wait, this is the modem card. Never mind. I'm looking at the wrong card like an idiot. If I can stop bumping the camera, I don't know where I put it. I think I may have put it up because I don't think I was going to install it. So, I guess I'm going to install this PCI bracket after we're done. Go ahead and button up the case. If all the drivers install correctly. So, I'll see you then. Here we are. Windows ME install process went through very smoothly. So far I haven't had to type in a product key, but I imagine that will change in literally a few seconds. So all I had to do was reformat the hard drive with Windows XP, shut it off before it has the chance to write any files, put the Windows ME drive in, and then Windows ME just installs as if nothing ever happened. Oh, it's not done yet. Now initializing its driver database. This is very important. This is what makes or breaks this whole install. Now it's setting up any hardware plug-and-play devices you might have. Do have. But yeah, this is peak hardware you want to install Windows ME onto. Just because it's from 1998, 1995, it had Windows 95 on it. If you don't need DOS programs like me, this is the way to go. But of course, I was trying to do this, you know, kind of a cool way. One really old operating system, one really new one, but I can't really do both. I don't really know what I'm doing. I haven't worked with hardware that's old. Gradients. I don't know if I'll keep that last part in, but regardless, it was a reference to Draga 1. Anyway, now that we're not limited to MS-DOS and Windows NT, and we're actually using a real operating system, I have a ton of graphics cards to choose from. I mean, oops. I have this one, AGP, because this computer has AGP. I have literally 2 GeForce 2 MXs. I have whatever this is, and I also have an AGP V3400 TNT. This might be what I install in the system. So here we are, Windows ME on the Colorado. As you can see, 384 megabytes of RAM, that's what it sees. We have only half a gig of the hard drive used. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, let's go through and check out some of our games here. Can this computer be powerful enough to run pinball? Crap, that's loud. I've never played this before. Oh well. There we go. There's my score. That was really the first time I've actually tried to play this game. Okay. So that was fun. I guess I will work on System Tools. System Monitor. What does that say? Add item. What can I add? Huh. Okay. Well, this is it. Windows ME. Let's actually take a look at add new hardware. Where's device manager? Is there such thing as a device manager on this? I think I know where it might be. Device manager. Aha. Okay. Yeah, there it is. It's found the it's even found the Ethernet adapter. It's also found the... I don't think there's a single thing it hasn't found. Wonderful. So we have a computer that runs Windows ME. 256. Apply. Yeah. yeah, let's restart to apply the new colors. Hopefully I don't completely destroy my brand new install of Windows ME. But this means I can install Netscape Navigator, Windows, not Windows, Winamp, and a whole bunch of other stuff we can try. Well, I was going to make the joke of, why do you need a CPU on a card? Are you swapping out CPUs that much? When someone gave me these. One of them's a Pentium 3. Beautiful. One of them's a Pentium 3, and one of them is a Celeron. I don't know which is which, but this can be an episode all to itself where we upgrade this system and see just how much faster we can make it. One thing that I always thought was cool about old school Windows is that it always used to bring up the previous menu you had open. I love that feature, and I wish it would come back. But I guess when computers are so stable, it would save you having to open up all sorts of crap. So, yeah. Why does this not have gradients? It's a good day in the trailer. You know why? Because it found the Scrap Master. The Ethernet card works. Which means we should be able to go on the internet. So, let's open up Internet Explorer and find out. And I'm running ScanDisk on my removable disk. That's right, this thing is USB. I'm no longer using the PS2 mouse. And this thing is very slow, but I think that's because of the hard drive. But that doesn't mean we can't make it faster with the, what's it called? MSN, yay!